everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
This is it. 18. Keep it up, defense. 24. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Check 99. Check 99.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Cloud.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Watson, flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A first down and then some, 36 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
No.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Taken in by Switzer on the left side. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Let's go one more.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Chester Rogers that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Off of play action, it's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Black 20. 54. Check. Black and third.
On first and 10 is Counter. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. On second down, Connor looking for space. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This will be caught inside the 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a first and goal. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. No gain, and it's second down. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 6 yards away, and the Steelers have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson over the middle, open is Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. He gets it left side to Johnson. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. That's complete to Robinson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And now running right through it. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, 55 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Watson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Watson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Now Watson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. This one complete right side to McDonald. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. 15 yards on the play, first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know it's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it'll bring up third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he finds McDonald. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Crosby with the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This will be fielded at the 6. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They run the counter. Johnson. Room to run past midfield. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1. Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Watson now to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. How they can get much more balance than this? Big-time run.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air yet again, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st down, Connor, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's where this defense is going to need to do more in the 2nd half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now on 2nd and 13, Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watson on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Motion, check. Shift. Check, put it on.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Chubb, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. Here's Conner. And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Black 80. Check, check. Watch 54. Black 80.
Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped him behind the line for the second straight play. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back now in Houston, it's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Now Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one for him.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Now Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. They'll run here with Connor. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do before he truly gets started?
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to loft one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Samuels. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. Here's Samuels again. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. A very solid gain of 27. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. A toss play to Chubb. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Texans cut into that lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better? Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
That works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On second down now. It's Connor. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the second straight play.
Here we go. Black 80.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man here is Gentry. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. Watson escaping the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle. 50.
Throwing again is Watson. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Again, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Throwing on second and long. Watson. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans. Third and long, it's Watson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. At the 46-yard line.
So this one in the